2025 is here, and let's look at the best 5 Pokemon ROM hacks entering the year. We have had an amazing year for Pokemon ROM hacks, so let's jump right into number 5. Pokemon Hodge Platoon. This game is full of some of the best Fakemon I've ever seen. If you like difficult Pokemon games and battling, this is your game. My first 2 times I got absolutely swept. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to beat anyone. I got swept by their first Pokemon. There's so many little kinks to the battling system, it's one of a kind. You get to start with a choice of 5 Fakemon. You can only choose 3 and then it's time to battle. In this game, there's over 80 usable, incredible looking Fakemon which you can see on your screen right now. Who here did not like the Pokemon Emerald Battle Factory? The battle swap system? Yeah, Pokemon Hodgepodge is similar to that. You defeat someone, you can steal one of their Pokemon, or you can have a random selection and hope that your luck is on top tier. There are new moves, abilities, and the stats for Pokemon are completely different to everything you've ever known. That's what made this game such a challenge and so enjoyable for me. I had no clue what I was battling half the time. I mean, come on, look at some of these Pokemon that you can choose from. My experience of the game is that it's incredibly fun to play through when you're completely in the dark. You don't know anything about it. So you don't know any typings, you don't know any movesets. It's really challenging and it made me use all of my Pokemon skills and still I struggled. Let me know down below in the comments if you can make it past 5 battles in a row. I don't think anyone who's watching this video right now is going to be able to do that. But leave a comment down below and do you know what? Show me proof in my Discord. Discord link will be in the top of the description, so make sure to join that. Number 4. Pokemon Sword and Shield Ultimate. What an incredible game. Notoriously, Pokemon Sword and Shield is definitely one of the most loved Pokemon games of all time. And remember when they first dropped their DLC, I was so impressed. It was one of the greatest DLCs ever. Why not play the entire game with more Pokemon on the original graphics? So aesthetically pleasing. I mean, I love the current graphics, but we can all agree the original graphics are just perfect. But what makes this game number 4 on my list? Well, let me tell you now. One of the things I loved about this game, before I even actually started playing it, I could pick randomized, and I personally love a randomized Pokemon game. I think it adds the challenge that you never had before. This randomizer was absolutely crazy. Just look at some of the Pokemon I saw. The region is completely the same as the original. It even has the DLC, Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor. A lot of work has gone into this game. The wild area was the one thing I was a bit worried about. Would they be able to replicate it as it's such a big area? Can the 2D side of things work properly? Yes, they can. The wild area is one of the places I've spent the most time in. It is so beautiful, and you can even go into raids. The quest system in the game, keeping you on track. Some of these quests are really fun to do as well, making the game feel completely different. You can even take on raids and get Gigantamax Pokemon. Did I forget to mention you can also get Mega Pokemon? Something we're all excited to come back with Pokemon Legend Z. What more could you want in a Pokemon game? Why is it not higher on my list? Well, it had a few little glitches, yet not for long. I'd start running slow for some reason. This could be to do with another feature they have, like the overworld Pokemon not working as smooth as it could. But moving on to number 3 on my list, Pokemon Odyssey. Wow, you're in for a treat with this one. This is one of the craziest Pokemon games ever. It's beautiful and the graphics flow. The game is just perfect. I love playing this game. Starting off your journey, you learn about the labyrinth. What is it you're seeking? Fame? Money? Glory? Power? You can get it all in this game. The start kind of reminds me of Sword Art Online, mentioning a guild with teammates, not being allowed to enter the labyrinth by yourself, and the character design once again beautiful. Now if you've ever watched Sword Art Online, it is one of the greatest animes, well the first season anyway, it's one of the greatest animes, so the fact that this reminded me about it is blowing my mind. You're probably asking yourself, why is it number 3 on my list if there's got all of these positives? And it's not because it's bad in any possible way. Number 1 and 2 are just so incredible, they are way over, but you need to stay until you can find out what games they are. The best features of Pokemon Odyssey. Wonder Trading. Yes, you heard me, one of the best features ever. Getting rid of one of your Pokemon and in return getting a completely unique and different I mean, come on. Who doesn't love Wonder Trading or the GTS system in the normal games? There are new regional variants. Take a look. These are some of the best changes I've ever seen. They're so subtle, but so beautiful. One of the best I've seen in any game for a long time. And this feature might be controversial, but I personally love it. There's no evil team or gym leaders. That doesn't mean there's no challenges. No, it doesn't. There's definitely challenges along the way, but for some reason, I'm really enjoying the game with no gym-like leaders or evil people that keep on coming out of nowhere and challenging me. But that might be controversial, you might not like it, but I do. Pokemon Odyssey, a game that's different with its own challenge, the Labyrinth. The main stage of the game divided into layers with a captain to defeat. I know I said there's no gym leaders, but the captain is kind of like a boss of that level that you need to defeat to progress, showing that you can actually handle the next stage, right? Another feature I really like is that there's a soft level cap, making progression a little bit harder once your Pokemon is at that level cap. This game is still getting regular updates and improving every month. If you want the downloads to any of these games, make sure to join up to the Discord on top of the description right now. Number 2, Pokemon R.O.W.E 2, the game that changed the game. If you don't know what a rogue is, let me quickly explain. No playthrough is ever the same. How crazy is that? With R.O.W.E 2, they changed it even more. You have gens 1 through 9 included, and you can select random paths to go down that is gonna decide what Pokemon you find and what items you get along the way. By the way, even if you pick the same path twice, the same type of path, you're not gonna get the same Pokemon. It is completely different every time. Also, if your Pokemon dies, it's gone forever. At the end of your selections, there's a gym leader waiting for you, and as you climb through these challenges, it gets harder and harder each rank. A full successful run usually takes 3 to 4 hours of gameplay, meaning you can play this game 3 to 4 times the usual ROM hack experience in a complete different way each time. Imagine doing type only runs, that'll be fun. Maybe look out for that on my channel sometime. Some of the best features of Pokemon R.O.W.E start with a hub area which you can unlock new buildings as you progress through the game. So gyms 1 through 2 to 3 to 4, etc. You're gonna unlock more buildings in the hub area. A really cool customer characterization which blew my mind. Before this, I only ever played R.O.W.E 1 when it first came out, and oh my god, the improvements have been absolutely incredible. Multiple difficulties and modes, meaning if you get too good at the basic level, why not make it harder for yourself? They have added every single gimmick in the game, Dynamax, Terra and Mega. You can battle all gym leaders completely randomly chosen and stop right here. They also have a multiplayer section so you can play with your friends, trade Pokemon and go on adventures together. That's something that I never knew even before making this video and during making this video. Doing some research has taught me a lot. Although this is a new feature, so if you have friends unlike me, that'll be a really cool thing to do. This game is so amazing, you need to experience it yourself right now. I love the way they made you capture your starter like in Pokemon Arceus Legends, and I really love the randomness in this game. So make sure you're thinking strategically against those gym leaders, you don't want to lose on your run. My experience with this game is like no other, really blowing me away every save file I start, making me use Pokemon I've never used before. Some I'll never use again, and some that really surprise me to the point I want to use them in battle more often. I'll even go as far to say this game revived my passion for Pokemon battling, and that takes an incredible game to do that. Leading us into number 1. Pokemon ROW. I kept hearing how good this game was that I had to try it out for myself. It did not disappoint me. An open world Pokemon game that's done so perfectly. Hey, I thought I'd never be saying that sentence in my life. And what do I mean by open world? Well, you can start anywhere because the level scale is brilliant. I took Norman on for my first ever gym battle. Once again, they also allow randomized mode, but I have explained that at least 3 times this video, so I'm gonna skip my explanation this time. Pokemon go all the way up to Generation 8, experiencing the home region in a completely different way. A feature that's overlooked right now is auto run, saving your thumb from holding down B for hours on end sometimes. you won't be able to put this game down. So when I say hours on end, I mean hours on end. Mega Evolution is also included in this game with Dynamax. If you're like me and you actually prefer double battles, you're in luck. Every battle can be a double battle no matter what. You can alternate 90% of these settings, allowing for a switch up in gameplay while in a playthrough. There's 16 badges in this game, including the Savvy Islands where you can fight the Johto gym leaders, with an option to rebattle every day. So I battled Norman first. Let's say I want to experience Norman at the same difficulty as the 4th gym leader. I can just go back to Norman, which they have the Generation 8 flying, so I don't need to have a HM slave. I don't need any problems like that. I just need to use one item and go straight there. I can challenge Norman at the rank of gym rank 5. One thing I'm still trying to learn about is trainer skills. I mean, it's one of the most inclusive things I've ever seen, and it makes sense. You get more experience as a player, your skills should also improve. Take a look at some of these skills. I mean, they just blow my mind. You can get more experience, more money, better at capturing certain types of Pokemon, more attack, more HP, and so many other options. I'm giving you guys too much information. Join the Discord now and play these games right now.